HCMC stock update today. So a formal entry is now in place on PESA, indicating that the amended complaint has now been submitted to the judge. This is as late as 3:35 p.m. Eastern US time. That was when that entry was made on PESA. So the submission to the judge includes all the replies and responses from the two parties, that is HCMC and Philip Morris. So I believe what we are now waiting for is a response or challenge to the inter partes review initiated by Philip Morris, of which Jeff Holman, the CEO of HCMC, has indicated will be vigorously opposed. So we are waiting for that now, and I think the 16th of September will make it about 3 months since Philip Morris filed that initial lodged that IPR proceedings. So after that will be the ruling of the judge as it concerns the amended complaint. So it wouldn't be out of place to expect a ruling from the judge sooner than later, as he has seen what has been filed before. So the question is, how would a potential progression of the case, how would it affect PMI's plot to undermine HCMC's case, or rather undermine PMI's plot to undermine the case through the Patent Trials and Appeals Board? How would that be? How would that undermine it? I mean, easily we have heard, from experts or from folks who know better than we all, in the form of Jossom's sauce. We've heard that the PTAB or the appeals, the patent office usually loves to allow court proceedings as it concerns patents to take precedence, progress further before any other action. So there's every chance that can happen. There's every chance that this case will progress. There's every chance that it's going to progress and probably move on to the next stage before the patent office has enough time, before its own deadline, before the patent office's deadline to respond to that complaint from PMI. So there's every chance it will progress further, and if it does progress further, they may want to say, okay, your case in court is progressing, so we can't do that anymore. And also notice that HCMC has left its response down to the deadline, so we haven't had anything yet, and this is the 11th of September. We haven't had anything yet from HCMC in that regard. So yes, HCMC understands that is what's going on. We all know as well that HCMC has a history of doing such things. It did that with RJ Reynolds, and they didn't succeed in that direction. Hence, they now try to ensure that they start a PTAB request early enough, but it wasn't early enough, I think, because the judge has already ruled. Remember, he ruled once for the complaint. We're now in the amended complaint. There's every chance the judge will come up with an outcome before December, and if the judge comes out with an outcome or ruling before December, there's every chance that the patent office will say, okay, your case is progressing now, let us leave it to the court to decide. So maybe maybe Philip Morris may not succeed with this plot again against HCMC. They didn't succeed in the case of when they had in their case with RJ Reynolds. Fingers crossed. We all hope that they don't succeed in that. And I think and we all understand that, we all have also heard that the patent office usually doesn't really agree to, not as much. They usually don't agree to review a patent they have already issued, and maybe they may not succeed in doing. Maybe they may not agree to have it reviewed in this case, even if they don't refer to what's the progress of the courts in this regard. But fingers crossed. Like I indicated earlier on, it looks likely that that may be the case. If they want to, I mean, put yourself in their position. This case going on in court is also an opportunity for them to lighten their burden. Leave this. Don't get involved. Leave these guys to fight it over themselves. In the courts. I mean, don't get involved, man. This is another headache. We have already done our job, and let another party look at it. Let's leave it to the courts. There's every chance that was going to happen. So fingers crossed. We'll see how things progress, and we'll continue to update you in that regard. And we also know that there's a huge army in as it concerns the shareholder base of HCMC. Some months ago, it was about 300,000 or something like that. One of the largest publicly owned companies in the US based on shareholder number. So that is a huge benefit to HCMC. And we have also seen how they have benefited from that. They easily raised money for, I think probably this case, they raised all the money, some money they needed and other stuff. But unfortunately, the price we all paid for that is the dilution that has occurred since. But if the case progresses, there's every chance, that it will benefit the shareholders if short sellers don't spoil the ruined broth. So fingers crossed. Let's see how things go. We'll continue to update you. And thank you very much for watching this video.